Normally, I don't like great matches ending in disqualifications, but the way this story is going between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, it's the perfect way to continue the next chapter. This is how you really keep the story going while making it interesting and worth watching at the same time. Post-match assault. I'm honestly surprised that Wendy is telling AJ to stop rather than kick his ass even more. Why show remorse to someone who's insulted you? Come here to your sweaty and blood-soaked dad. There's a good chance my blood's gonna land on you, but come give me a hug.
I cannot believe Samoa Joe would say this.
Really? You can't believe Samoa Joe would declare himself the new daddy? After all the things he said over the past few weeks? What'd be more surprising is if he didn't say that.
But look in the eyes of the challenger.
Well, he's not the challenger anymore at this moment, considering the match is over. 4-hour pay-per-view event somehow has time for an impromptu Elias concert at the 2-hour mark. I'm usually okay with Elias concerts, but when we're at the 2-hour mark of a wrestling show, it's really asking too much. Kinda like that Pitbull concert 3 hours into WrestleMania 33.
As hard as it may be to believe I was a child.
It's hard to believe this, but I used to be a child just like you, cliche. Something the kids usually hear from parents.
And I wrote the greatest album of all time.
Well, this confirms it. Elias is exactly like every cocky musician known to man. Releases an album and brags about it being the greatest of all time. Oh, the music industry.
Knowing that the entire world loves you is an incredible feeling.
I wouldn't know. Everybody around the world hates me.
Dare I say my greatest song yet?
This next song I'm about to play is my greatest song yet, cliche. Elias really has studied the ways of the music industry. Only a matter of time before he starts doing those diss things or whatever they're called.
I'd like to dedicate this song to all the New Yorkers.
What's the name of the song? Garbage Disposal, aka The Giants?
Phenomenon.
Yeah, we get it. Can you play the song now so we can get on with this pay-per-view? There's still many matches to come. Well, you see, that's what happens when you pull on the guitar that hard. Also, I'm throwing in 4 sins because this was a 4-minute build-up all just for Elias to break his guitar before he could play the first note and then he walks away. The end. Talk about wasting precious time. Brooklyn would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. Also, nearly 2 minutes of Elias sitting around in embarrassment before he finally leaves with his broken guitar. Another double sin for more time being wasted. The Miz is really trying to look too much like Becky Lynch, isn't he?
You guys want to fetch my limo and celebrate after.
After the B team gains success on their own, The Miz still believes that they will follow his orders.
And the B stands for Daniel Bryan.
That starts with a D. Your name also starts with a D. It's called Dumbass. Also, traitors. This match is quoted as 8 years in the making, despite the fact that Daniel Bryan and The Miz have fought several times throughout those 8 years. Now, if they never faced each other whatsoever prior to this night, then that advertisement would make more sense.
Maybe The Miz needed me.
There is nobody better than me, cliche. One of the top cliches any professional wrestler would say. Hell, I might end up saying that myself when the time comes. I'm sorry, but I don't think any of us can look at this retirement segment the same way again, because when somebody returns to in-ring action after making a great retirement speech, it makes that segment the biggest waste of time in their careers. Just stating facts. Honestly, for the build-up promo to this match, WWE should have just replayed this entire segment, because this entire segment is the perfect way to hype up Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Everything that Miz said was realistic, and why he's, no pun intended, awesome. I don't really believe Monroe Sky Mizanin is really in the baby carriage, considering no mother would bring a child that young into an extremely loud WWE show filled with screaming fans.
16,000!
Commentator states the number of fans in attendance at the show as though we even give a shit about it, cliche.
To punch Miz in the face!
Daniel Bryan has punched Miz in the face so many times over the years. How would this one punch be any different from the hundreds of other punches? Also, what is so symbolic that Daniel sees in punching Miz in the face? Does he think it would shut him up? Because many other wrestlers have punched The Miz in the face, and here he is, still talking.
Obstacles between.
The first time Miz put himself through the ropes, I let it slide, but when he keeps it up, then I start to get bored. Not everything needs to be done twice here. So, was that punch also symbolic?
What are you talking about?
The Miz committing copyright infringement on Daniel Bryan's yes kicks. Hooray! You finally punched Miz in the face. Again, for the 1,000th time in your career. Feel better now? Mission accomplished?
So the moneymaker!
Daniel Bryan committing copyright infringement on The Miz's it kicks. So I suppose they're both in the wrong here. The Miz thinks he's in the bar, or in the Shield.
They look like him. They eat like him.
Corey Graves must have studied the lives of every New Yorker in the world. The only person who looks even remotely like Daniel Bryan is the Psycho Kid, who is still hiding in Switzerland. If you're not a fan of McJuggernuggets, you wouldn't get that reference. Also, they eat like Daniel. I may have to recheck in case I'm wrong, but I highly doubt that every New Yorker is a vegan here.
It was clearly
That was one of the most messed up bulldogs I've ever seen, especially the way Miz slipped.
The crack of a baseball bat hitting a home run.
When is the last time the Yankees done one of those, am I right? Ow! Oh, I already made a sports reference in this video. That might be why I got slapped this time.
Bryan and a knee right to the...
Tom Phillips stuttering.
It's like a Hollywood film.
There's so much copyright infringement, but I'm too tired to count them all this time. Just throw in a few sins and let's call it a night.
Daniel Bryan was...
The Miz is covering himself up, despite the fact that he knows that Daniel will not aim to punch him in the head while locking in his submission. Hell, Miz did this submission himself to Daniel 20 seconds ago.
Oh, wait a minute.
I would have honestly removed a sin or two if both Daniel and Miz got pinned simultaneously right there, because that would have been one of the funniest out-of-nowhere endings to a match I could think of.
Clear to come.
The Miz is a dick to Birdie's potential brothers or sisters.
Rope here and no.
Hey, I remember that scene from 2010, and a load of other times these two have faced off. Who else remembers Miz always doing that to Daniel in their matches?
You can hear Miz saying, how about a cravat?
What in the actual fuck did Tom just say? Because Miz clearly told Daniel, I'm better than you, not whatever gibberish Tom just uttered. Good lord, that was bad.
Miz should punch Daniel Bryan in the face.
As you clearly saw many times, Corey, Miz has already punched Daniel Bryan in the face during this match. Knowing you and your near Michael Cole behavior toward The Miz, I'm surprised you missed that.
How's that for a punch in the face?
Too much talking. Can somebody wake up Daniel, please? He's fallen asleep on the job again. I can't really tell, though. All I see is hair.
It's come to an explosion here.
What made Corey suddenly pause and then complete the word explosion? Did you think for a moment that the word explosion would be a good example of this match?
Daniel Bryan here.
Oh!
And now Daniel Bryan is a dick to Monroe's potential brothers or sisters. I say we're back to an even playing field. How about instead of telling Daniel to stop, you do that one thing referees are supposed to do in this case? You know, like, start counting? You've been here for decades, you should know how to do that.
Oh, man, from the...
I will say that was a perfectly executed and perfectly timed back superplex. About time I start giving center movers in this match. The Miz has Daniel where he wants him and has every chance in the world to try and finish him off. But let's take a look at the crowd instead and allow Daniel to regain some of his composure.
Yes!
Yes. Never thought I'd send the word yes for something involving Daniel Bryan. That's a first.
Position right now.
Slap in the ring post. Oh yeah, I forgot. Maryse was here at ringside to support her husband. Boy, do I feel embarrassed right about now. The commentators, minus Corey Graves, complain constantly about Miz using Daniel's moves and not his own, and yet they have nothing to say about Miz using Ric Flair's figure 4 leg lock. I guess they only care about Daniel and don't care if Ric's moves get used.
It's a figure 4 fist fight.
Figure 4 fist fight. Try saying that 5 times fast. Also, in order for it to be a fist fight, Miz would have to be punching Daniel too, and he hasn't done that while keeping the submission locked in. The referee grabbing Daniel's ass while trying to get him to release the hold. You didn't think I noticed that, did you? I'm the wrestling center. I see everything.
12-6 elbows.
12-6. Usually when people round numbers, they say the lowest number first. Why would we be counting backwards in this case, Corey? Fighting. I bet Maryse was telling Miz, why haven't you decided to grow a mustache yet? You would look good in one. Now that I mention it, I think Miz would look cool with a mustache. Hell, he could make Mustache Mountain jealous.
Get out of here!
You know, if the Bella twins wanted to be a factor during SummerSlam, we could have had Brie Bella show up to attack Maryse or something. Having Miz win by means of brass knuckles courtesy of Maryse is another great way to continue this rivalry. 2 matches in a row where the finish has a great continuation to the story. WWE doesn't seem to do that much nowadays, so this is an improvement.
To cheat his way to a cheap victory.
But hurt Byron.
I'm sorry, there's a glare in my monitor. I don't see it.
Corey Graves is fucking awesome. WWE Super Showdown, an event which should really be called Random Showdown, the way the poor match card is looking. Last time ever. That's a good joke. Also, this match exists despite the end of an era thing from 6 years ago. WWE always loves to give middle fingers to the wrestlers of today. Also, we still have 4 matches left on the card with 1 hour of pay-per-view time to cover it. Do we really have enough time to dedicate 3 more minutes to something that's not happening for another month and a half? This match with Finn Balor and Baron Corbin is existing close to the 3rd hour of this event. You couldn't have put this on the pre-show or something? Or just not have them compete once again on pay-per-view? because as you'll soon see, this is a complete waste of time. Well, it looks like Finn Balor decided to take the night off and send in a replacement opponent for Baron Corbin. Also, this completely ruins the whole purpose of Finn's demonic persona. He hadn't been using the demon for WWE shows lately due to the fact that none of his opponents have given him a reason to unleash hell. At least when Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt feuded with Finn, they actually pressed his buttons and forced the demon out of him. For this case, the demon has arrived in the most awkward appearance I've ever seen. Also, is this the gender fluid demon or something? That might explain the dress. This CGI graphics may be the only one I actually like, with a demonic looking sky above the ring. Nice touch to the entrance.
Last time Demon has been a part of SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Really? So what the hell was facing Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam literally 1 year ago? I would be impressed with the look, but unfortunately Carnage keeps popping in my head. And also the Boogeyman, but mostly Carnage.
Can he maybe alter the match?
How about Baron brings a cross and shouts the power of Christ compels you? That could work.
Maybe we can reschedule it.
Reschedule this match? There's only 1 hour left and 3 other matches on the card. Teeth hands.
And I'm trying to figure out why he doesn't do this more often.
Maybe because nobody has pissed him off enough to make him do this? Like in this case, the demon is here for virtually no reason, and that's sinful. Basically what we're saying is, Finn Balor spent hours and hours getting all this heavily detailed paint on him, all just to use it for a 90-second match. Hell, even his entrance was longer than the match, making it all the more pointless. Is the demon force sensitive too?
You should have known Miz was going to do something like that.
You mean you actually didn't know that the Miz would pull off a stunt like he did earlier? How?
Don't even get me started on that Maurice.
Brie Bella holds it together and prevents herself from calling Maurice a bitch, despite not having a problem with calling Stephanie McMahon a bitch 500 times in 2014.
I needed to win that match.
This match is one I needed to win, cliche.
Fight for your dreams.
I swear, if I have to hear another case of fight for your dreams in the case of Daniel Bryan, I'm gonna lose my shit. Is this seriously all his gimmick is about? Fighting for your dreams? For a wrestler who has already achieved literally everything in the WWE? Multiple title wins, WrestleMania main event headliner? What else is left?
I'm gonna stay back here and punch some walls.
Daniel wants to cause property damage. Previously on WWE.
SummerSlam is brought to you in part by...
Skip! As great as it is to see the United States Championship defended, this match feels out of place on the card, especially after all that we've witnessed in the first 3 hours. I'm just saying, not every title has to be defended on pay-per-view.
Supreme, we're about to find out.
More of that off-sync singing, and since the theme song no longer goes to that original beat, it makes it 5 times worse.
After the dehumanizing behavior.
Dehumanizing behavior? I get that Randy Orton has turned back to the villainous snake he used to be, but dehumanizing? Or is that referencing Randy's obsession with Jeff Hardy's ear? Honestly, Shinsuke Nakamura's attempt at doing the delete chant was so funny that I'm removing another sin. Heel Shinsuke is honestly the most hilarious thing about SmackDown.
Avoid a handful of kicks there. Oh, look at
Copyright infringement, at least Shinsuke was being funny. Also, 11-minute US title matches, mainly dick measuring contests and taunt stealing for both Jeff and Shinsuke. Yep, you heard that correctly.
trying to pick up the mirror, and it looked like a sling blade.
That was not a sling blade, Tom. That was clearly a sleeper slam. Fun fact, that was one of my signature moves in my wrestling days, though with more force into it. Either way, that wasn't a sling blade. No one cares what's trending, even in part 2.
Went for a twist of fate.
Can someone please have Shinsuke stop going for low blows all the time in his matches? Because that's not a cool thing for him to do constantly. I'm honestly sick of it at this point.
Shinsuke was... Twist!
No offense, but ever since Jeff connects the twist of fate in a stunner-like way, it really took out the cool look in the move. Now all I see is a spinning stunner. He may have missed Shinsuke, but once again, Jeff Hardy proves us how much balls he has after all these decades, removing 3 sins because Jeff once again stole the show, even if it caused him to lose.
Kinshasa!
Corey Graves no longer has enthusiasm with shouting Shinsuke's finisher anymore, which is kinda sad. Randy Orton makes his way to the ring for a full minute all just to turn around and not do a thing. I'm already tired and want to go to bed. Is there at least something coming at the very end of the night that will cause me to go ballistic in celebration? Because at this point I'm begging you, give me something to scream and joy about.
Biggest match of Ronda.
Well, Ronda Rousey has had less than 10 matches in her WWE career, so I really don't think we should make a big deal about what match is her biggest in her career. No offense to Alexa Bliss, but I really don't qualify this match as the biggest in Ronda Rousey's career. That credit would probably go to Nia Jax from the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event, since Nia was more of a challenge than Alexa. Also, Ronda getting this title match was completely undeserved. She annihilates Alexa Bliss, beats the hell out of security, referees, and even assaults general manager Kurt Angle, and after all that, she gets a title match?! That makes absolutely zero sense. Talk about showing too much favoritism. This is seriously aggravating if you ask me. You got this wrong. Ronda Rousey didn't return 30 days later because, if you recall, her suspension was extended a further week, so she actually returned 35 days later. Natalia's shout out to her father, the late Jim the Anvil Neidhart, was truly a great moment tonight. Here's a send-off for respect. Wait, what? I thought Natalya was accompanying Ronda Rousey to the ring. Why is Alexa Bliss coming out next? She's the champion, right? The champion should always come out last. Here are the Bella Twins at ringside. Do we give a shit? Hell no. Their presence doesn't mean shit and plays no part to this match. WWE virtual reality is a sin. It just is. Not everything has to be virtual reality. I prefer actual reality over this bullshit. The hell is with the weird eye makeup? I'm trying to figure out what Ronda's trying to be for this match. Any guesses, folks?
Time to get it on.
Giggity!
Baddest woman on the planet.
If Ronda Rousey was really the baddest woman on the planet, she wouldn't have such a nice girly attitude. She'd be as destructive emotionally as she is physically.
Oh, and went for a cheap shot.
Fuck you, Michael. Alexa wasn't going for a cheap shot because Ronda was clearly watching her. It's not a cheap shot if you're face-to-face with your opponent. Get your facts right for once.
Ronda ready to go, and Alexa Bliss.
We interrupt SummerSlam 2018 to bring you Fastlane 2017, and as we've seen with Kevin Owens and Goldberg, this strategy never works. Just a matter of time now. As much as I dislike Ronda being in this title match, seeing her do this "I'll give you a chance by blinding myself" technique was entertaining very much. I don't like her one bit, but she still somehow manages to remove sins from my counter. I'm sorry, this is funny as fuck. No. Ronda, we get that you're excited to win the Raw Women's Championship, but can you not speak to Alexa so loudly when asking her if she's ready for you to execute your next move? Alexa Bliss's double-jointedness really comes into play here, and now I'm cringing. She really knows how to make it look like her arm is snapping. That's what's so awesome about this moment.
It's locked in. Alexa Bliss.
Third squash match of the night. That's not what SummerSlam needs.
Trailblazers of the...
By booing the Bella Twins out of the building, the crowd in Brooklyn will be great at SummerSlam's 2 expansion. As usual, the Bella Twins gotta make it all about themselves, even if it wasn't their intention. This is Ronda's moment, not theirs.
The night that changes careers, defines legacies.
Haven't we heard that exact same statement for almost every WWE pay-per-view concept that ever existed? Because at this point, every pay-per-view changes careers and defines your legacies from the WWE's perspective. Here we go again.
I'm sick of hearing about him, talking about him, looking at him.
How can you look at Brock Lesnar when he's not even around 95% of the time? I get that you're sick of hearing about him and talking about him, but looking at him?
History is written by the victors.
Correct and incorrect.
Failed again.
Wrong. Roman hit first. So Roman Reigns won the steel cage match at Greatest Royal Rumble. As far as I'm concerned, we're tied with a win apiece in 2018.
I'd much rather be at home on my couch.
Then vacate the title, get the fuck out, and don't ever come back, you lazy bastard. Yep, you're seeing it correctly. We are watching this from a fan's phone rather than the WWE's cameras.
Brock had to resort to the pepper spray.
Actually, that was Paul Heyman who resorted to using pepper spray against Roman, not Brock. Brock Lesnar is even too lazy to mace his opponent.
Roman is ready to go out on his shield tonight.
Wah, wah. Also, foreshadowing the random and completely unnecessary second reunion of The Shield 24 hours later. Roman's clearly doing just fine on his own. Same with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Wah.
504 days, Brock Lesnar is ruled.
Actually, for at least 480 of those 504 days, Brock Lesnar hasn't ruled shit except becoming the heir of the couches. Also, a title reign spanning 504 days is supposed to sound impressive and amazing because of a champion managing to hang on to the title for that long period. But when you look at Brock Lesnar, you just see a lazy prick who doesn't know the difference between being a real champion and being a part-time disgrace to the entire sport of professional wrestling.
Defending!
10 title defenses in 504 days. What a bitch. Honestly, if you think about it, if Braun Strowman had cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase right now, Roman Reigns would have been out of the Universal title match, because the match hadn't started, and if Braun cashed in on Brock right now, it would have just been a one-on-one match between Braun and Brock. If only that happened, we could have seen Roman's face saying, well, this is awkward.
Beastie boy.
Beastie boy. Look what you did, Braun. You made the crowd do another off-sync chant. In this case, an off-sync chant of Beastie Boy.
From out of nowhere, and another one.
That is so bad the way Brock Lesnar reacted to that Superman punch. First off, Brock reacted too early. Secondly, that made Roman miss the punch completely. And thirdly, what's with the weird jumping movements? Although I'm removing a sin because the moment Roman started hitting those Superman punches early, it got us all hoping that he would destroy Brock for good. Even if the punches didn't get the job done, it still was an intense moment.
To his feet. Oh!
We interrupt SummerSlam 2018 to bring you WrestleMania 29, an event Brock coincidentally also lost at.
From Lesnar.
Why again?
Here comes Roman. Roman!
Wrestler accidentally throws himself into an unintended target upon his opponent moving out of the way cliche. Also, trying to spear Brock out of the ring never seems to work out for Roman Reigns. Versus the Greatest Royal Rumble, it cost him the match in controversial fashion, and now tonight, it causes him to accidentally take out Braun Strowman.
Roman Reigns. Not many tooth.
Not many tooth? Jonathan Coachman ain't making a lot of sense here tonight. Shouldn't the referee be counting out both Brock and Roman rather than simply telling them to get back into the ring? Another case of referees not doing their jobs properly.
With the contract.
Brock's not hitting Braun with a piece of paper. That's a briefcase, not a contract, dumbass.
A weapon. And now slinging it. Along.
Brock is a dick to Money in the Bank briefcases on the SummerSlam stage at the same time. Does that mean he's a double dick? Wait, what the hell did I just say? Get that trending. Hashtag double dick.
And Reigns with a spear.
Haha, the chair got thrown right back in your face.
Pump of the leg. Reigns did it.
Hella motherfucking Luya! Brock Lesnar's reign has finally been sliced in half! I don't care who is going to be the one to end the title reign, as long as the nightmare has ended. Thank you, Roman Reigns, for killing Brock Lesnar's reign of terror. We are eternally grateful. And now the Universal Championship can be relevant once again.